Hello and welcome to the new patch. There's some significant changes. There's a new unit, and the Phoenix has left the starting specialists, and the Tarantula has replaced it, or the units the starting specialists have. And I've recorded this game before, but now I'm doing a voiceover, so we picked the elite specialist, and here you can see the enemy has the Tarantulas. And the Tarantula is basically a chaff clearing unit. One guy in the squad, it's quite tanky. And I'm pretty happy about my position here, like the steel balls are amazing against the Tarantula. And I'm preparing to do some kind of great push here. With the elite spec you want to be very aggressive. Okay, so he's deploying pretty heavily into my steel balls. The Tarantulas are gonna be insta-targeted here, right? The games I played, the Tarantula seems to be very coin flippy in the start. Like, if you lack single target damage, you cannot actually kill the guy. It's pretty strong. But if you have access to like early Phoenix, or you start with marksman steel balls, it's pretty good. Or I mean the Tarantula is pretty bad against them. You just insta-kill it and it does nothing. But as you can see, it clears the chaff quite well. But obviously it's a big problem that it's only a single unit in the squad. Like it's pretty hard to commit into the Tarantula. Because in mid-game you are gonna see a lot of giants, like fortresses, melting points. It's a big liability, I feel like. This is kinda awkward turn for me. I think I'll pick the missile strike, but I think I should have picked the wasp farm. These spells are so brutal against the elite spec because you don't have any resources to do anything. Like, I would maybe like to upgrade both my towers to level 2, but then I miss a deployment. And here he could even take the missile strike and kill half of my balls and the level 2 crawlers. I would probably lose the round to that also. And I'm thinking here, how can I defend the wasp farm, or should I even defend it? And then I'm thinking that the wasp farm is gonna be, if he picks it, it's gonna be a new problem in 3 turns. So I go Mustang against the Fang. And he actually makes a defensive wasp, which is kinda crazy. But now unlocking these Mustangs, it's like I don't know, probably was a big mistake by me. Because now I'm kinda locked into the Mustangs. I cannot go raid from this position. Or I can, but it's not that optimal. And as you can see, the Tarantula is kinda great against the Mustangs also. I have another video explaining the Tarantula technologies, and then we are in the unit editor seeing how it fares against other types of units. But basically it's like a 1-unit Mustang that has the only new technology is the spider mine. It releases mines that distract the enemy fire and inflict damage when they die. Okay, is he beaconing to my tower? I think it's really risky for him to take the Rhino here against my steel balls. But I forgot what was the other options, maybe they were super bad. I could even beacon my left side balls to the Rhino. It's kinda interesting that he's trying to push this hard into my steel ball comp here. There's a flank on the right which we cannot see. And if I remember correctly, this will become a very interesting game in a couple of turns. But sadly, there isn't gonna be a Tarantula commit on this one. So here I don't... I was signaling that some of the items have changed. Like the amp core used to be 60% health and damage, now it's 50%. Also the improved fire control has been changed. It was 100 cost item with 100% damage. Now it's like 50 cost item with 70% damage or something. There's a lot of small changes, so it's quite a big patch. I wasn't expecting him to commit to the rhinos, that's why I went replicate, but now he just goes whirlwind. And we die quite hard this turn, I would guess. But I'm feeling pretty confident here, I'm not worried about the rhinos. I have the steel balls already in play. I can very easily deploy more of them if needed. But the whirlwind is pretty brutal this turn. It will destroy everything I've got. And it's kinda like a free technology for him, because he gets me to press the replicate button. And it's a complete counter. Like, how I'm seeing this situation is that I saw the big rhino. I know I'm in a winning position here, I just need to survive. That's why I clicked the replicate. To get this one round in for me. And then he might need to commit to the rhinos, then I can counter it. And here I might have two problems. I might have a crawler problem if he goes replicate. And then I have a rhino problem. So that's why I'm going the raid here, because he doesn't have any anti-air. I got the absorption module item, the raid is never gonna die this turn. So we are gonna fix the crawler problem first and kinda cheese the round with the raids. And then we are gonna commit to the balls. That's my plan here. If I go balls this turn, and he clicks replicate and deploys more crawlers, for example, I might take a lot of damage here. And the missile strike is pretty useless. Like, he's so fast in my towers. Usually with the missile strike it's very good to attack the enemy flank somehow, but here I don't wanna do this. I'm fairly confident I will win the round with my raids. And interesting, he goes the absorption module also instead of the heavy armor. And yeah, he has only fangs that shoot up. By the way, you can tech anti-air to the Tarantula. It's a 150 cost technology, I believe, and it can shoot up. It's probably pretty good against wasps. So do we have enough damage here to clear this? Probably not. Like, every bit of health here helps me a lot. I think my board is better set up for late game than what he has with the rhinos. The rhinos are a kinda tempo heavy play. You need to make the enemy do bad deployments or waste economy or something with the rhinos. If you can do that, then you are good to go in the late game. So there's extended range steel ball, which is kinda crazy. And this allows me to go suck on the balls right away instead of doing range. Like, against the whirlwind you kinda need the range usually. So the rhinos cannot connect to all your balls at the same time. So now there's the wasp farm again. By the way, you see the crawlers I have on the back, like these level 3 Mustangs are defending against the wasp farm. And I put the crawlers near the Mustangs. So when the wasp farm comes in the middle, then the crawlers will pull it to the big Mustang side. Did I go I should definitely go technology on the steel balls instead of upgrading the rate. So he goes melting point. I've seen the red hair dude do this a lot. He goes into rhinos. He goes into rhino crawler, or he starts with replicate crawlers. Then he goes into armored rhinos. And the enemy goes usually raid against the replicate. Then the raids cannot kill the armored rhinos. And then he goes melting points against the raids. And then the enemy counters the melting points and the rhinos with steel balls, because the steel balls counter them both. And then he goes multi-melting point. Multi-melter with the melting point. And we are gonna see something similar this game. If I remember correctly. I don't know if I was thinking about that in this game. Was that on top of my mind? I was also quite tired when I played these games. And I'm playing quite fast here, not a lot of thinking. So I'm deploying the wasp in the corner because I was expecting a melting point to come there. So maybe I could cheese one round with the raid. I'm probably using the free units here very badly this turn. Like I'm just tanking with the high level wasps here. And here is a problem for him because all the rhinos are quite forward. Well, now he got badgers, but if it were only for the rhinos die to the balls pretty quickly, and then my late crawlers come in, and the melting points cannot do anything. But here he will just grill my whole family if I try to go more crawlers. And he's actually going the multi-melters. So it's multi-melters versus steel balls. Who will win? And he didn't put anything in the flank, but I didn't buy a beacon, so all my stuff is distracted. And I've played this matchup a lot, by the way. There were a couple of guys on ladder who always tried to force some kind of multi-melter. And the steel balls with suck and range are pretty good against it. And here we have the range card, which is kind of crazy. Is the enhancement module? Is it too late? Is it storm? It's gotta be storm, right? Yeah. And now I'm beaconing. I shouldn't do this. I should just sell the flank off. Range on the balls. The steel ball levels are very important here. Like what the levels do is that they can out-heal the melting point damage if they are leveled enough. I should probably sell the Mustangs also, but I guess there's too much stuff to sell. I don't think we need shields here, or it's quite hard to shield against the storm here. Yeah, he didn't even take the storm. Goes EMP. And the EMP, while it's really strong, it's hard to hit all the balls. And even if we have like 1 or 2 balls surviving, then it will kill the melting point. These steel balls are quite crazy though. Probably just... I don't know what I should pick here. Maybe Sandstorm could be good here. He took enhancement module, by the way. I don't know if I like that cell actually, because we have the completely useless flank. It's like 950 money is tied into it. I'm never gonna win it. I could commit like balls there, but I don't think it's a good play. And I'm going Mustangs to clear the chap faster, the fangs especially. It's kinda bad that I'm having a technology for both Mustangs and Wraith, but maybe I feel like that the multi-melters are quite good against the Wraith. because they die so fast. Not sure if it's a mistake or not, or if I should just keep building raids. I'm doing some useless stuff here, not using the beacon. So now there's a lot more melting points. And the late crawlers are actually really strong here. I should build more late crawlers, I think. But they might be bad when he goes napalm, or if he goes napalm. But look at these balls out healing the melting points. And as you can see on the left side, the EMP only hit half of the pack. So now there you can see the changed item. He has some spells this turn. Wasps, rhinos. I think I should go mech div and 3 more crawlers here. Like photon coating would be really nice for B, but I'm the elite specialist. It's really expensive, so the unit drops should come next turn, right? So I'm waiting for the unit drops. It's possible that I would die on one round though, so it's kinda scary. Like the photon coating is really strong for me, but so are the late crawlers. Okay, so I'm choosing to distract the EMPs from the sides. I think the late crawlers might be better than this. Holy shit, that's a lot of melting points. I beaconed the Mustangs to counter the Wasp drop. Again the EMP hits, but it doesn't hit everything. And I think the oil actually on the left side is giving him late chaff, which is why I'm losing here, I think. Because it didn't ignite. But it's fine, we are alive here. 2000 HP. This is a big boy, by the way. It's a level 3 melting point, right? Does he have the suck technology on them, or was it the absorption module? I can't see. Yeah, he has the suck also. And now the boats arrive. So I'm thinking what he will pick, but it doesn't really matter. Because none of the units like do anything for him. Or maybe the photon coating is good for him as well. Now the mech div is a lot better now. because they don't get EMP'd at all. But even with the EMP, the mech div was pretty strong, I think. Because even if a couple crawlers get out, it distracts the melting point enough. It's a level 4 melter in the middle with the enhancement module, by the way. So he used his oil. There's not much to fear here. Napalm would be pretty good for him, I think. So let's see what he takes. So he took the boats, put them in the corner. Yeah, I checked the boat technologies. I think this was a case that this is a test server and maybe he didn't have all the technologies unlocked. And the boat by default doesn't have photon on, if I remember correctly. So maybe he thought he had photon, picked the boats, then realized it didn't have. But here you can see the power of the balls. They are so crazy. This extended range ball card was pretty good. I wonder what would happen here in this game if I didn't get it. But yeah, nice game. Hello, hello. We are playing with the new unit Tarantula, which replaces the Phoenix on the starting units. And of course we picked the new unit. So let's see how it will go. So Sako has also the new guy. Yeah, I don't like to play mirror matchups actually. I prefer to do something else than the opponent. I don't like that he has the Tarantula also. But I find it very hard to commit to this Tarantula unit. It's like a chaff clear unit, but it's only a single squad, so it gets very much outscaled by giants in the mid game. And I've noticed that going like round 1 Phoenix against the Tarantula is pretty good. Because sometimes you just cannot kill them without single target damage, and I don't wanna commit into like a marksman or something here. I'd rather miss one deployment than go Phoenix. And the positioning is quite good for me. The Tarantula has some interesting technologies. For example, there's anti-air for 150, then there's the spider mine that costs 300, I believe, and it releases like 2 mines that have something like 750 health, and they distract the enemies a little bit, and when the mines die they explode and deal damage. So it's like a chaff clearing mine that protects the Tarantula a little bit. I tried it a little bit. It's pretty hard to get into this Tarantula unit. Like, it's very hard to commit into it. So here it's the heavy armor for sure. I'm checking what kind of experiences all the units have. I'm expecting him to put the heavy armor on the more experienced dude. The heavy armor is always the big here, because it's so strong with the free units. By the way, did you see the heavy armor was also changed? It was 100% health more, now it was 80%. And I love playing against Sako. It's fun to see what he's doing, how he's playing. And this is the first game I played against Sako. We played 3 games, I believe. I think I will post maybe tomorrow the other games. I think they were quite interesting. So Sako was trying to take our tower on the left side. And I was trying to take his tower with the crawlers. And he put the heavy armor on his dude as well. Oh, it's pretty sad, the tower timing. Because now his guy might get a level because of it. Otherwise it would have died to the Phoenix. Oh, it still died. Okay. So our Tarantula will clear everything. Like, the Tarantula is pretty strong unit, but once you get good single target damage, it becomes very bad. It strike spec or redeployment. I really like the redeployment in these aggressive games. I think it's super good. So there was an arc light in the corner. That's why I put the crawlers out. I don't want to defend the arc light. The arc light does nothing. It clears my crawler for free. So it's a positive deployment for him. But now he cannot kill the tower with the one arc light. So currently it does nothing there. It just sits in the corner. While my crawlers are doing something when I redeploy them away. He goes fire. That's crazy. I don't know what his thinking process here is. Is he... Maybe he's thinking that he needs Phoenix levels here. Or level the Tarantula with the heavy armor. So he's doing this fire play to get levels. Not sure. It was kind of crazy. I think strike spec and redeployment both are pretty good for him. But we take a lot of damage here. There's the Rhino. I think you have to take the Rhino here. I've tested like marksman in this situation. Everything, it's like the Rhino is just too strong. We even have the item for it. Like this, if you pick something else than the Rhino here, you lose the game. Right here, right now. It's pretty crazy with the redeployment. And usually I think you don't wanna do this kind of tech like I go the Whirlwind, but since we have the redeployment, I'm feeling very safe with the Rhino. I can just put it anywhere next turn. So him having a Whirlwind technology that can clear chaff means that I can actually put it anywhere. And you can see my mobile beacon, by the way, it goes past the tower. It's because there's a sentry missile. And I want to trigger it with the Rhino. So it kills the tower, then it walks to the sentry missile and triggers it. This means that Sako needs to deploy some air defense to the flank. Not sure if this Mustang is good here, but Fang shields are really strong against Whirlwind Rhinos. He actually does the same play. He's selling the Tarantula and going the Rhino. Going replicate also, but he didn't take the Whirlwind. Now you can see the sentry missile is triggered. And I think the game is favoring here me. or I'm favored in this game by a lot because I have the redeployment card. So unfortunately there's not that much tarantulas in this game. Deployment module maybe. The spells are kinda bad here. Like the battlefield is so spread apart that I cannot really go orbital bombardment. The fortified Mustang is usually pretty good against crawlers, but okay, so we are taking the tower. This is a trick you can do. If you move a unit in the flank, it doesn't warp in again. And I'm feeling confident about the replicate here. Because our rhinos can move with the redeployment. So I think I'm like favorite in the rhino battle here. I go Fangs to protect the tower. I'm expecting him to beacon the rhino to the tower, but I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Like I have like Fang shields would be amazing here. But I have only one Fang, so there's no way I'm gonna do Fang shields this game. Yeah, so we get the tower with the clever beacon. And I checked that he also went the deployment module, so he moved his Phoenix. I love to play games like this that are quite chaotic. Our rhino leveled. It's hard. It's very hard for him to counter the rhino because the rhino can move. Everything is bad here. I could go melting point to try to counter the big rhino, but maybe it was a better play. The rhino or the wraith is kinda useless here because the enemy has leveled phoenixes, and then we have the whirlwind also, so the roll overlaps. But I don't like melting point in these positions. They kinda look good against the one big rhino, but later on they are quite bad. But I don't know what was the correct pick there. It's for sure not the fortress. I forgot what the other one was. Maybe it was like a Vulcan. That's terrible. I just wanna see what kind of composition he's actually going for. I was kind of fearing, would he go multi-melters here? So he's committing more to the crawlers, the same as me. And then he's actually going photon on the rhinos. So he's hard committing into the rhinos. And the photon coating, even though it was nerfed a couple of months ago, it's still pretty strong. Like look at the rhino on my right flank. It just goes through everything. Takes the tower, and we take a lot of damage here. And there's a couple of options here. Actually, do we win the round? Almost. Oh, we do, right? But there's a couple of options. I could match his rhinos here. Or I could go steel balls. And this is a pretty interesting turn. Do I take the enhancement module? Do I take the junior? Do I take the heavy armor? Do I skip? Oh, the heavy armor was actually... It was 200 cost. And it was it like 160%? So I was thinking that he will go the heavy armor here for sure. So that's why I went the ball route. To counter the heavy armor. Or the super heavy armor. I feel like it's usually bad to try to match the enemy. Like in this situation, it's completely viable for me to counter the rhinos actually. Because going counter is always better than matching your opponent, right? I'm trying to delay the rhino beacon with the crawlers. But I don't know if it actually delays them. It delays a little bit. So he was trying to get my tower by firing the chaff in front. And look at this one ball sucking the rhino off. Didn't die because of it. So depending on the levels, but usually the steel balls suck. Like you get extra health from the technology, and what it does is that the balls don't die to one whirlwind, and then they start healing. Like here, all his damage on this side, there's like level 1 rhinos that do nothing. All his damage here is the charge shot phoenix. Also, this is a pretty strong position for me. If something goes wrong here, I can go anti-air fortress and he doesn't have anything against me. I'm expecting him to sell the rhino with the enhancement module from the flank, but you never know, so might as well missile. It's quite late in the game. I think I took the junior manufacturing specialist a bit too late. Can it produce value here in this game? I'm expecting him to do the same to my phoenix, ion beam the phoenix, so I'm moving them away. Do I deploy more balls? He has so many rhinos everywhere. I think I need one ball in the right side. No, it only connects to the center rhino. Needs to be in front of my tower, right? Okay, we put 2 there. He goes snack rhinos. I don't think that's good against the steel balls. Okay, so we won. Sako said after the games he was a little bit tilted before we even started, so I think he was just forcing some rhinos. But fun games.